Hey guys, welcome to MMA Library. Today on the MMA Hour with Ariel Helwani, Jorge Masvidal discloses that he now needs surgery due to Colby Covington eye poking him in their first fight. He also says he doesn't care for Herb Dean and doesn't want him to referee one of his fights ever again. I'm not going to make excuses, but the eye poke leading into a takedown in the first round probably wasn't the best start for me either. It was the eye poke that I got some problems from it. Still dealing with it. I'm going to have laser surgery in 2 weeks. I'm not a fan of Herb Dean, man. I'll tell you that much. We've had a couple problems, you know. The Donald Cerrone fight was one of them. Jake Ellenberger as well. I just don't know. I don't think I'm his cup of tea. And he kind of takes it out on the refereeing, and he's done some things that I'm like kind of weird, and then the guy clearly throws a low blow. I'm not saying this changed the whole outcome of the fight, but clearly throws a low blow that's intentional, and Herb doesn't do anything about it. Just gives him a little warning. I just don't know. I hope that as long as I compete, Herb Dean never referees a fight of mine. Jorge referenced his laser surgery by saying they don't actually get a scalpel, not a crazy procedure or nothing. It was just to lose to a charlatan, especially a cheating piece of like that. I was like, you know? The rematch between Joanna Jedrzejczyk and Zhang Weili happens June 11th at UFC 275. In March of 2020, Weili won via split decision, but it was the aftermath that everyone remembers, seeing Joanna's swollen head. It's probably one of the worst female injuries we've seen in the UFC. Joanna recently spoke with Ariel Helwani on the MMA Hour and said Rose Namajunas offered to prepare Joanna for the second fight with Weili. Rose said, I didn't totally make that decision in my mind yet, but I was just thinking about it. Nothing personal against Weili or anything, but you know Henry Cejudo was kind of talking some crap before our rematch. I'm just kidding. Joanna revealed that Rose actually did try to get in touch with her. She wrote, a few days ago I got a message from Mike Brown that Rose wanted to get in touch with me. I was like, what Rose? And he said, Namajunas. I was like, of course, give her my number. Yesterday or 2 days ago, I saw a message from Pat Barry and it went to the spam on my Instagram, but I responded and I'm very open to do this because it's my last 2.5 weeks in Florida. I am flying to Singapore May 29th because I want to go there early to adjust to the time, adjust to the climate, the humidity, and I want to make everything the right way. I want everything to be done very good. If she mentioned that, that's good. Let me reach out to the number to my coaches and see what we can do. Zhang Weili says she wonders if Rose thinks Joanna's team is bad. She recently said, well, if I'm Rose, I would not do something like this because Joanna has her own team. ATT is a very professional elite team. They may produce many champions, and you go and interfere at this point, that's a little bit, I don't know what she's trying to do. Does she think Joanna's team is not good enough or what? I don't know. I definitely would not do that in her shoes. Paulo Costa is being accused of hitting a nurse. Paulo allegedly attempted to get a vaccine card without actually receiving the vaccine, and a nurse went to stop him. He elbowed her while leaving the building. So Paulo has released a statement to his Instagram. The recent articles published by the media involving Paulo Costa referring to what happened in the shopping mall generated questions. So we must present some clarification first, tending to sensationalism. These are reckless and inconsistent. The athlete Paulo Costa and his entire team reject any type of violence. Paulo is a high-performance professional athlete, full-time dedicated to training to follow the rules, guidelines, and discipline. According to his philosophy and human conduct, this kinds of allegations are completely incompatible with his history and way of life. Accusations and facts narrated do not reflect the reality of what happened. The fact will be carefully investigated and the appropriate legal measures for their perfect clarification will be taken. The technical and legal team of athlete Paulo Costa also informed that they will be available for further clarifications. TJ Dillashaw goes after Paddy Pimblett, saying he won't ever become a UFC champion with a work ethic like his. When Paddy isn't fighting, he puts on a significant amount of weight.
You look fat as from this angle.
TJ was recently on the Shab show and he went to work on Paddy. He's just loving diabetes. That's like a recipe for destroying your body. I guess there's one thing when I look at it, they can promote him the right way and do all this good stuff, and he's got some stuff to grow and get into higher echelons of the UFC. But if you keep the same work ethic that he has now, he'll never be champion. You can't have that downtime like that. You can't get that fat. You can't get out of shape. It just proves the dedication to what you need to do. I'm not trying to pound on him or anything, but that's something that I think he's going to have to figure out with age. He's young, it's a full-time job. This isn't just wanting to be a fighter, you have to be a fighter. Paddy hits back on Twitter and says, "Is this fella messing?" At TJ Dillashaw used to sell t-shirts with his fat face on it saying quote unquote Fat Tyler on it when he came out of camp. Don't forget your own pasty sausage cheating little juice head would have never won the belt without them you mushroom. This Saturday night, Alexander Volkov and Jairzinho Rozenstruik go head-to-head at UFC Vegas 56. Kenny Florian gives his predictions for the fight. Kenny said that instead of being defensive, he has to move forward and show some more aggression than we've seen in the past.
I think Rozenstruik really needs to do that here against Volkov. He needs to be aggressive. If he tries to lay back or he tries to cruise through any of these rounds, I think that's where Volkov's really going to take over. When you have a guy who is a striker who is that tall and long and utilizes a lot of those long-range weapons well, if you back up or if you cruise or if you stay on the periphery, you're going to get picked apart, even if you are a very good striker. So Rozenstruik can catch him, sure, and he's got the power to stop him, but I just don't see it happening. I think Volkov tends to be a little bit more hesitant with his striking when he's fearing the takedown. I don't think he has anything to worry about here as far as grappling against Rozenstruik, which is going to allow him to unleash more of his strikes. I like Volkov here as well.
Almost 2 years to the date, Henry Cejudo defeated Dominick Cruz via TKO in round 2. On his podcast with the Schmo, Henry said that Cruz wouldn't last 2 rounds with him. Henry calls him Dominick Snooze and says, "He had his opportunity. He couldn't make it past 2 rounds with me. It was ridiculous. I got rid of him. That's why I dedicated Technique of the Week and got over 130,000 views off of it. Because it shows that not only did I knock him out and show diversity with my knee, but I also knocked him out so much. I hurt him so badly that I literally woke him up. So Dominick Snooze, get in the back of the line. I gave you an opportunity the first time. You couldn't get it done. You couldn't last no more than 2 rounds. I want somebody that's capable of at least lasting another round with me. More likely I'll be fighting toward the end of the year, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be prepared. You guys are going to see the best version of Triple C, and I'm reclaiming my crown once again, because these dudes make me absolutely sick." Guys, thanks so much for checking out the latest MMA news here on MMA Library. Comment down below on what you think about these stories. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content we do here on this channel. Check back daily as we'll be posting all the UFC and MMA news for upcoming fights and everything in between. We'll see you in the next video.